to Pretty Pastel Pastries. Now for today's tutorial, I'm going to be showing you how to make this super adorable Mickey and Minnie Mouse hot cocoa bombs. I really hope you all enjoy. Now let's go ahead and get started. So to start off, we're going to make our Minnie and Mickey Mouse ears today using marshmallows. So I'm just going to use some regular sized marshmallows. We're also going to need a pair of scissors to cut the marshmallows, and lastly, some melted chocolate. So today I'm using the Stover Sweet Shop milk chocolate coating wafers. So it's super simple. We're just going to grab our marshmallow here and we're going to cut this down with some scissors. Now you can also use a knife, whatever you guys have at hand. So as you can see here, I'm just going to kind of indent it a little bit so that I know exactly where I'm cutting. And just like that, we have our marshmallow ear. Now we're just going to do the same process to all of our marshmallows. So now that we have all of our marshmallows done, we're going to get started on dipping them inside of our chocolate here. So we're going to grab our toothpick and we're going to insert this in the center. Now we don't have to adhere with any chocolate just because it is already super sticky on the inside of the marshmallow, so we don't have to add anything else to adhere it. Then we're simply going to dip inside of our coating wafers and we're going to shake off as much chocolate here as we can. We really want a really thin barrier all around our marshmallow. If it's a little bit too thick, it might want to just like drip down, and we don't want that to happen, so it's best to just take off here as much as we can. Now we're going to get started on our 3-part mold, and of course you can find this exact mold down below in my description box. I will also have a list of other supplies that I used here on this video. So let's start by taking out our clear plastics to get started on filling up all of our molds with some candy melts. So I didn't talk about this, but the red that I am using today is from the brand Sweet Tooth Fairy Meltables. They also carry a lot of different color shades at Michael's Craft Store, and also they have different flavors, so try them out and see how you like them, but I personally love to use them myself. Now we're going to take our milk coating wafers and we're going to do exactly the same thing as we did with our red candy melts. So we're going to pour it up to that line right there. Now that line, I added a couple of these like black lines on there so that I can see visibly like where that line is, because without that it kind of makes it a little difficult, but you know, it's up to you. You just simply place that on the outside of your mold. Then we're going to take our clear plastics and place this in the center of each mold. We're then going to just press it down a little bit more to make sure that chocolate gets distributed around the edges a little bit. Lastly, step number 3, we're going to add in our back piece. Press this down, flip it over, and do exactly the same thing. Now this will be going into my refrigerator or the freezer for about 10 minutes or until it's completely set. Now we're going to get started on a Minnie Mouse bow. I'm just going to add some red to my Ziploc bag, and I'm going to fill this small mold I found on Etsy. And for small decorations like this, it typically takes about 3 to 4 minutes to fully set. You can either place this in the fridge or the freezer. So just like that, we have our finished mold here. So we're going to always pull away from the sides, making it release, and it comes out super easily. We are now back with our finished cocoa bomb shells, and I'm going to show you how easy this is to release it from its mold. So we're going to hold it from the side of the plastic and pull upwards. So just like that, it releases really easy, and we're just going to do this to the rest of them. And to take off the plastics, we're just going to pull away from the actual cocoa bomb shell. And just like that, we have all of our finished cocoa bomb shells. Now I'm just going to finish this up here and we'll move on to the next step. And just in case you do want to make more chocolate spheres, we're going to repeat that same process using that same mold. We do not have to wash this each and every time we take it out of the refrigerator. We're just going to use it as is. Also, just make sure for your clear plastic, it is a little bit cleaner. So just like take off those little chocolate pieces that are left over. Now we're going to start assembling everything. So first up we have our hot plate. I just simply put this in the microwave for about 3 to 4 minutes until it got super hot. You can also use a hot skillet, whichever one is like the most easiest to you. Then we're going to take our red half sphere and place this directly on top of our cupcake liner. So this part is completely up to you, but you can use any kind of cocoa mix you guys would like. Today I'll be using the brand Ghirardelli, and I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of this mix inside of my bomb. And I always recommend you try out your cocoa bomb and see how's the sweetness, and even if you have to add a little bit more or take out a little bit. So, you know, always trial test it and see how it is to your liking. You can always alter things as you guys go. But I'm just going to add 1 tablespoon because that mix right here is like super flavorful and rich, so a little bit really does go a long way with this one. I'm just going to pile this up with some more mini marshmallows and we'll be back. So once we have our filling ready, we're going to start adding on our top layer. So I'm just going to place this over my hot plate for about a couple seconds, not that much. And quickly you're going to place it on top of your other cocoa bomb sphere. You're going to push it in place and then hold it at the top for a couple seconds. And just like that, everything is perfectly centered and ready to go. Next up, we're going to add on our marshmallows for the Mickey and Minnie Mouse ears, and we're just going to adhere this with a little bit of chocolate right on the bottom of that marshmallow. So now that we're done adding on our ears, we're now going to focus on the Minnie Mouse Bow and her like little outfit too. So I'm just going to grab a little bit of my poppy paint on the back of my brush, and I'm just going to add a little bit of dots all over this little bow. You can also make these bow decorations well in advance. Just make sure you keep them like in an airtight container. And to adhere this to our marshmallows, I'm just going to add a small amount of chocolate to the back and just hold it in place for a couple seconds. We're then going to dip our brush into our poppy paint again, and this time we're going to draw small circles to the front half of the sphere. You can also go in twice to make the color just a little bit more vibrant. Now for our Mickey bomb, I'm just going to pipe out 2 ovals in our yellow chocolate. Lastly, we're just going to add a couple spritz of our edible glitter all throughout our cocoa bombs, and this just brings like everything together. Now we're going to hop onto our packaging, and here I'm just going to add in a cocoa bomb sticker. This just says how exactly to mount your cocoa bomb for the customer who receives it or your friends and family. So first up, we're just going to add our cocoa bombs here to the front. Now you can make this whole box Mickey and Minnie theme, but I just chose to do 2 today, and the other ones are just going to be my regular hot cocoa bombs. So this is the end of today's tutorial. I really hope you enjoyed these easy Minnie and Mickey Mouse inspired hot cocoa bombs, perfect to sell, gift, or to simply enjoy. Also, don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe to my YouTube channel for more upcoming tutorials. I'll catch you on my next one. Bye guys, have a lovely day!